Hello and welcome to the November 2020 Ajaxpost Plays channel update. And what strange days these are. I mean, it's only a few weeks ago when I was starting to meet friends again, to make tentative visits to pubs, even returning to live theatre. Live theatre, can you imagine what a joy that was? But now, as of the time of this recording, we're just a couple of days away from England going back into lockdown again. Time is just so weird at the moment. But anyway, so after all that excitement in life in October, I'm kind of grateful to have this little channel here to help keep me occupied, having me do something to keep me a little bit sane. And likewise, I hope that what I'm doing here does some little thing to help entertain you if you're suffering from similar restrictions to your lifestyle. Anyway, let's look back at October on the channel and see what November might have in store. And talking of store, I have something of a big announcement to make a little bit later in this video, so yes, you really should watch till the end. Sorry about that. I mean, it's an old YouTube trick, but yeah, I can't help do it, I'm afraid, this time. So yeah, October, my very first full month as a proper YouTuber, that was air quotes in case you couldn't see them, with over 1,000 subscribers. And I'm delighted to see that so many of you are still here. Over 10,000 views, more than 1,000 hours watched, plus 54 new subscribers. Welcome if you're new, and thank you so much if you've stayed with me over the last months, year, whatever it's been since you first found me. So yeah, and I continue obviously to be so appreciative and humbled by the level of your support for my strange efforts in making gameplay videos. But you're not here to listen to me talking about numbers. What about the games, the videos? So, starting with Transport Fever 2, everything starts with Transporter Fever 2, I think, certainly for the foreseeable future. Yeah, the game is getting to a stage where now we have several passenger routes which are very, very busy and profitable, but I do need to upgrade the vehicles, and doing that is an expensive thing to do. Likewise, I want to get started on some properly big projects, like expanding Bristol Temple Mead Station, building the Severn Tunnel, but each of those upgrades, each of those big projects, basically costs my entire bank balance. So it's kind of it's an odd situation I'm in, where I want to do something big, but I can't do that until I do something else equally big, and then I've got no money left. So what I'll do, I think, if I can remember, if I can do this properly, if I can organise this properly, is play a few years forward, get a properly substantial bank balance, get rid of some of the oldest vehicles, and then I can make sure that each video episode actually does something significant and interesting for you to watch. And so on to Sim Airport, and we have at last started work on the top floor of my main terminal building. So I'm looking forward to creating some luxurious and exclusive facilities on that floor. Again, it's all a matter of balancing the budget, getting the loans in and so on. So it might take a couple more episodes at least, I think, to get that done. And once that has been completed, I think we'll pretty much have gone as far as we can go in recreating Bristol Airport, which I must say has been quite the fun and entertaining challenge to actually take something which looks vaguely real and make it playable within this game. So what will happen is, once I've got to that stage where I think we've gone as far as we can, we will bring that series to an end and we'll move on to something new. But yeah, that might happen this month. I suggested last time it might. I'm not quite sure. It depends how I play it, to be honest. But yeah, there are a few more videos for that, and then we'll just put Sim Airport to one side just for a little while we get on to something new and hopefully just as exciting. And it's kind of similar with Computer Tycoon. As you've seen in the last couple of videos, getting that many more customers becomes more and more difficult the more customers you have to start with. So each percentage point becomes a struggle. It's not so much competing against the AI competition, but more competing against the expense of opening new sites and new factories to meet the demand of all those new countries we're getting into. So whether I'll actually be able to achieve getting to 100% of sales, I'm not entirely sure, because what we're seeing at the moment is each episode is me building more factories, selling more stuff. and that's it, which isn't terribly exciting. I'm not sure there's that much more gameplay to see out of this current build of Computer Tycoon. So this game I think will definitely wrap up this month. Whether we get 100% or not, I'm not entirely sure, but we'll bring this one to a close until at least the next update. The developer is promising us a major update to the game, and once that lands, I'll have another look at it and see if we can restart another series of Computer Tycoon and see what changes that makes. But yeah, I think it's time to let this one go, and then we can get started again. As I said earlier, a moment ago, we can bring in something new and fresh to the channel. And talking of reasonably fresh and new, Transport Inc. Yep, that game is still going along. I've started, as you'll know, a little Let's Play. I don't think it'll be a great big long one. I mean, I don't know, to be honest. We'll see how far it goes. And it's a bit like Transport Fever in the sense that it's a bit of a struggle to get everything in place to start with and to make your company profitable and get your basic foundations right before you can get into spending big money and get the impressive and expensive kit, the trains, the planes and so on, to make the game really fun and exciting as you sort of traverse the world and transport stuff and people around. Yeah, so that one will continue for a little while yet, and I know that we are expecting some interesting new gameplay features coming along. If you're on the Discord server, you will have perhaps seen hints of them. Certainly if you're part of the beta testing, you'll be more aware of what's going on. But there's something new and exciting coming to the game, so I'm looking forward to seeing that, hopefully turning up in November. Football Manager 2020. Who would have thought me, of all people, would be playing a football game on this channel? Well, to be honest, it's the least well performing of my video series. It's not terribly surprising. It is kind of unlike anything else I do on the channel, and I'm certainly no expert at the game. And although I love playing it, it does seem perhaps a little reckless to carry on creating videos for it. They just take up my time and your time on the channel, so it's a question of whether it's worth carrying on with it. However, I'm kind of loath to finish it before the end of the season. But if we got something new and exciting to come into the channel, and I'm hoping we have, but I'm not going to say much more about that at the moment, then I will cut that series short before the end of the season. But I do promise I will carry on at least until we see the games against Manchester City in the Carabao Cup. So yep, that one might well finish in this month, or certainly early next month, I think. And on to the new games. Well, there are a couple of games that might be appearing on the channel in November. Again, it kind of depends on how quickly I can close off a couple of the existing series. However, there is one that I do know I will be adding at least a couple more episodes to the channel, and that's Autonauts. It's a ridiculously cute game. Honestly, I have a suspicion it is aimed at kids, but it's actually great fun. And, well, until I get stuck on it or totally and utterly frustrated by the lack of a proper pause feature, but that's just the way I play games. But seeing as quite a few of you liked it and the feedback was quite positive on the game on my first look video, I'll be doing at least a couple more videos of Autonauts to just show off a few more features and see how far I can get into the game. But beyond that, there's at least one more title I want to add, hopefully this month, and possibly another. So again, I can't say any more than that because I'll make promises and I'll find that I don't have the time to do it. So I won't false flag anything, if you will. And on to the big news. Is it really big? I don't know. I thought it was quite big. By the time you watch this update, I will have opened my very own game store. It's unreal, isn't it? It doesn't sound real at all. But yeah, well, let's just go back a little bit. When I first started this channel, it really was just a little hobby thing for me to do, to share some of the fun I was having playing The Sims 3. But since then, I mean, I've evolved. Hopefully I'm making better videos than I did when I first started, and more of you have joined in the fun and become subscribers, and I've got lots more feedback from you, and it's become a whole new thing. But certainly, although I'm not intending, it's never my intention to make this a proper revenue stream or income. I'm not going to get rich by being a YouTuber. I have signed up for a couple of affiliations with a couple of game stores, particularly Humble and cdkeys.com, just so that if any of you wanted to buy one of the games that I'm playing and at a good price and felt like supporting the channel, then you could do. Just click one of my partner links and a very small percentage of the game price will come back to me eventually. They always have these sort of minimum limits on what they pay you back through these partnership channels. Yeah, so that will come back, and it just helps me perhaps buy more newer games and perhaps offer more giveaways and stuff, and maybe even actually buy better equipment with which I could make better videos, and basically just make more stuff that you might enjoy. So more about this particular store that I claim to be opening. So over the last year or so, I've been following a website called chrono.gg. That is actually quite difficult for me to say for some strange reason, and indeed bought a couple of games from them. And they were mostly focused on providing a sales store and a sort of gaming creator community, mostly focused on the smaller independent sector, the smaller producers, developers, publishers and the like, but with a few big name titles in there along the way. And they offered me the chance to create an actual shop front for the games that they themselves have access to that they sell. And I thought that might be a great way for me to highlight some of the games I love and hopefully offer you a great deal on them, and also provide another small way for you to support and help grow this channel, if you wanted to do that, of course. Now, in the last weeks, ChronoGG has become Nexus. They've rebranded and effectively abandoned their own sort of sales community front so they can provide a proper infrastructure to gaming creators like myself to sell games and promote their own channel and their own activity. Now, they're not a big name, so the game selection that they can offer is quite modest, but there are, to be fair, some really good titles in there which I can highlight and offer for sale, up to 10 at a time. That does mean, of course, I'll have to keep an eye on the shop and just highlight and pick out any particular sort of games they have good deals on so that I can offer them to you and promote those as well. One of the downsides of the operation is being only a relatively small company, they don't offer full internationalization. So at the moment, all their prices are only shown in US dollars, which means, of course, if you're a non-US buyer, you'll probably want to do a currency conversion when you're looking at their prices, just to make sure that you're getting the best deal. But despite the fact that prices are in dollars, all the games, as far as I'm aware, are playable worldwide, just like any other game key you might purchase from another online retailer. Now, obviously, as I said, I'm not expecting or planning to use YouTube and these store partnerships to get rich, and I'm certainly not expecting you to use my shop links to buy games unless they are a good deal and you feel like helping out to grow the channel in some small way. However, I will be putting the Nexus store link in all the new videos where it's relevant, if that particular game that I'm playing is available on the Nexus store, and I'll use my community tab and the Twitter feed to promote any particularly good deals. Hopefully not in an overselling way, and if you do think I'm just being too pushy, then do let me know. I am here just to have fun with these games and hopefully share that fun with you, and as I said, not in some sort of get rich quick kind of scheme. But because, as I said, I actually have control over this storefront now, unlike, say, for Humble or cdkeys.com, if there's any game that you're particularly interested in and which they might offer at a particularly good price, do let me know. And I can see then if I can add it to my Nexus store, so if it does come in at a price that you're really happy with, then you might feel inclined to use that link and just, as I said, just help out the channel in some small way. Yeah, and finally, almost to this month's giveaway. There's no survey this time, it's just a simple draw. Again, I've selected 4 very positively received games as prizes, including the awesomely, eye-wateringly cute Autonauts. The draw will start on Thursday the 5th of November and run as usual for about 2 weeks. I haven't put the competition page together just yet as I'm recording this, so look out for the announcement of when the draw is open and you can start making your entries. And really finally, that's it. Thank you so much for joining me for this update and for your support and feedback over the last month. And I hope that you will continue to enjoy November's videos. And of course, if you have any ideas, suggestions, criticisms of anything on the channel, please don't hesitate to let me know. I'm always keen to hear your feedback. Hopefully it'll help me improve the channel for you along the way. But that's it, as I said. So from me, for November, until the next time, bye-bye for now.